That's it. We are live. Today is the 25th of June, Monday, the 25th of June, 2018. On the panel, as usual, we have Astral and Patricia. A couple of more people may be joining. And special guest is Conspiracy Music Guru. So, hello.
Is that me? Hello.
You.
AKA Flat Earth Man. Yeah, it's me. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. I met you yesterday. Really nice person, and it's an honor to have you on here.
Oh, don't be silly. It's an honor to be asked. Thank you.
Hello, Alex. Great to see you.
Hi, Astral. It's great to hear you.
Good start. Good start.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that icon that you have there, it's just awesome, brother. Seriously, it's awesome.
Thanks, man. I mean, that's just done in my studio. It's just if you've got a green screen, you can do so many good things. You know, I haven't even got a green screen. I just painted my wall green in the studio, and it works just fine. So you can do all sorts of photography and promotional photographs like that. And yeah, it's the wonders of green paint.
It has to be green then.
It has to be green. Yeah, the software recognizes the green color and then takes it out, and then you can put in an image, any image you want, to replace the green. It's pretty simple, really. Once you know how to work the software, I'm only using iMovie. It's pretty limited, but once you know how to sort of remove the green and put in any image or any video behind me, then I can technically be on the space station or in space or whatever. Where you've seen the videos, you've seen how creative it can be. But yeah, everybody get a green screen. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so how long have you been a flat earther for then?
Ooh, do you want the short version or the long version?
Tell us which way it is.
Yeah, 2016 May it was. I don't know. Yeah, somewhere in May, I first clicked on my first flat Earth video, and I'd avoided them for so long. I mean, I'm conspiratorially minded, but flat Earth at that time for me was absolute nonsense. Of course it is. You know, who believes that nonsense? But the video I clicked on didn't actually have flat Earth in the title. It was called They Are Hiding God with the Biggest Secret. And it was Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues. And I think that was about 2 hours long. And by the time I got to the end of that, it really had me scratching my head. And I was like, wow, there's something to this. You know, this has some validity. It wasn't as stupid as I thought it was. And then I was clicking on videos of flat.
Started thinking.
I started thinking for myself, man. Yeah, I started thinking for myself and started clicking on more videos with flat Earth in the title. You know, Eric Dubay's 200 Proofs, ODD's 21 Questions, and, you know, I did all that groundwork. And then just, you know, I think it took me probably a few months before I was fully convinced. You know, it's not going to take a couple of hours to undo 500 years of programming. So it took me a few months before I was, you know, comfortable. And I said to the wife, the Earth's flat. I don't, you know, it's just like, it blew my brains apart. It really changed my whole life. And as a musician, for me, I just had to start making music about it. You know, when you learn that gravity is a hoax, and satellites are a hoax, and the moon landing was a hoax, and, you know, all of those things, I wanted to put it into music. That's why my songs are titled Welcome to the Satellite Hoax, or No Photographs of Earth, or Don't Believe in Gravity. You know, Do You Still Believe We Went to the Moon? I just wanted to make the titles, all the things like, oh, holy crap, this is what I've learned. There's no photographs of Earth. I can't believe it. I had to put it into music. So for me, Flat Earth has been a real creative burst for me. Yeah, so I started, and now I've almost completed an album. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I make ringtones for a living. That's my bread and butter. And I thought I'd be making ringtones for the rest of my life. You know, just these little ditties, these little 30-second songs that people download onto their iPhone. And, you know, but Flat Earth just gave me a whole burst of creativity. And I'm now, you know, writing full songs now, and, you know, getting better at producing and harmonies and playing my instruments more and more and more, and doing the green screen and learning all of that. So it's just, it's changed my life.
Yes, it does that. Can I just say that Bling has joined us? Bling has her own channel. I don't know if you've seen it, but she's Bling BS of the ISS.
I do know Bling. Yes, I was listening to her about a week ago on your show. Hey, Bling.
Hey, oh my word. I'm so excited when Karen told me that you were going to be on. You already know that I love you because I tell you in your channel comments, but you are such an inspiration to me because, of course, you know, I hate the International Space Station with a passion. And
Yes.
you make such great videos. Thank you so much for being such an inspiration to me. I love what you're doing. You are so talented vocally, and the way I don't know how you're writing these lyrics. It's just mind blowing. And the music, it's all perfect. Your green screen work is amazing. I heard that you only film on an iPhone. You need to tell us about that. I'm crazy about you. You're just the best thing
thank you
ever.
so much. You're making me blush and giving me goosebumps. It's so lovely to hear. Thank you so much.
Can I just say hello to? Can I just say hello to Bling Bling and hi Vinny.
Hello, Vinny.
Hi, Vinny. Hello. Hi, everybody in the chat and everyone in the panel. And I'm going to be
hello,
quiet now
everyone. Hello, hello.
Yeah, you met Vinny yesterday.
Hey,
see Vinny.
Hey, man.
Can you see my T-shirt?
Oh, yes.
Had to get one.
Nice. Good one.
Good stuff.
Hey. Anyway, so there you go then. You're very welcomed onto Sun and Moon. Yeah, you're going to play a few songs for us today, aren't you?
Oh, a few? My God.
Well, go on, give us a blast. Give us a blast of one.
Well, I'll give you a blast. I mean, if I play the whole song, it's going to take up like 7 minutes because my songs are not exactly a traditional
That's okay.
3-minute pop song. But I don't know.
You know, sometimes that we go on for 5 or 6 or 7 hours here, so I'm pretty sure 5 minutes of good
That's
tunes,
what I was thinking.
is awesome.
Well, I mean, you mentioned the satellite song. I've just done a live version of that on my channel. I can do that because that's quite recent in my mind as with regards to lyrics. So do you want to hear that?
Yes, I'll speak. Yes, please.
I'm excited. Go ahead, play. And we're all muting and just listening. So excited.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Well, I know it's a really hard pill to take when somebody says that satellites could be fake, huh? But don't you find it a little suspicious that you can't find any real satellite pictures? I know it's hard to be believed, but maybe we're all being deceived. Yeah, maybe, huh? Well, if you think you've seen one up in the sky, you can't see them with the naked eye, because a satellite is about the size of a car, at least 300 miles away. You can't see that far. Whatever those dots are that move in the night, I'm telling you that ain't no satellite. Welcome to the satellite hoax, just another one of them NASA jokes. You can't find me a picture of a satellite without bringing up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place when I searched satellites in space. Yeah, type that phrase into Google, folks. Let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. Now, before all of y'all start getting pissed, I ain't saying that satellites don't exist. I'm saying that it's theoretically absurd to think these devices orbit the Earth, because I've seen them hanging from big balloons. Even Google's doing it too now, man. Yeah, have you seen that? Go check out Project Loon. And every now and then a satellite crashes, but that information never gets to the masses, because then you'll find out how these things really work. They're just on balloons, man. They don't orbit the Earth. Because once upon a time, one crashed in Brazil with a balloon attached to its steel. Welcome to satellite hoax, just another one of them NASA jokes. You can't find me a picture of a satellite without bringing up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place when I search satellites in space. Yeah, type that phrase into Google, folks. And let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. Yeah. How can satellites be in the thermosphere when the temperature up there is way too severe? How can that type of equipment survive? How comes those satellites aren't burned alive? I'm telling you, man, it's just a pack of lies. No, there ain't no orbiting satellites, because 99% of our communication comes from undersea cables and cell tower stations. GPS is ground-based too, man. Go check out a system called LORAN. It's a military system for navigation that uses ground towers to track your location. Are you seeing it yet? Welcome to the satellite hoax. Just another one of them announcing jokes. You can find me a picture of a satellite without bringing up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place when I search satellites in space. Yeah, type that phrase into Google, folks, and let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. Okay, last verse. You see, Tesla figured out how to communicate without the need for satellites in space. It's mostly ground-based towers, you see, and that's how you get your satellite TV. They've monetized what Tesla made for free with their fake satellite industry. It was Arthur C. Clarke that theorized these things, these sci-fi boxes with solar wings. Another Freemason. It's no surprise they make science fiction and they monetize. They've stolen Tesla's technology and they get you to pay for your TV. Are you seeing it now, people? Welcome to Satellite Hoax. Just another one of them NASA jokes. You can find me a picture of a satellite without bringing up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place when I search satellites in space. Type that phrase into Google, folks, and let me welcome you to the Satellite Hoax. Yeah, welcome to the Satellite Hoax, people. Ain't no satellites. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. Well done. Awesome.
That was live. Well done. That was brilliant.
Yay!
Oh, I'm out of breath now, man. Woo.
Oh my gosh, that was just amazing. Oh, I can't believe you really did that live for us. Thank you so much. Like,
Oh,
I
you're
feel like
welcome. It was a pleasure, man.
we had
sweating.
free tickets to front seat row here to the greatest concert ever.
Woohoo! I think I need a beer, man.
Have a beer. Go ahead.
We were just talking before, obviously, Bling and Vinny came on. You were just explaining to us about being a flat earther. Is your wife into all this, or is your wife not that bothered? Just asking.
Oh no, she's into it. I mean, hold on just a second. Oh. I mean, she watches the videos that I watch basically because we sit in the front room and we watch videos and do our research there. You know, we barely watch mainstream TV anymore. Occasionally we might put on a movie here and there. So she's watching all the same stuff as I am. She's been on this on the journey as well. She you know, she's, as I've said before on other hangouts, she's not ready to walk around the town with a "I'm a flat earther" t-shirt on. You know, she's not ready to have those conversations. And to be completely honest with you, nor am I really. I mean, I have to you have to gauge your audience pretty well before you start talking about this stuff, I've found. But yeah, she's on the same path as I am. Again, I think David Weiss is correct in saying he's got this theory that a relationship can't work if one's flat and one's round. You know, maybe there's something to that, but you know, both my wife and I are flat earthers, and it's a beautiful thing.
Hey, have you got any children? Are they flat earthers, or is that a bit personal? But anyway, as I don't know you that well, but
No, that's fine. No, we are childrenless. We don't have children. We have 2 dogs. My dogs are definitely flat earthers. I can tell you that.
all animals are flat earthers, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, what kind of dogs are they? I need to know. I'm a dog fanatic.
They're both Cocker Spaniels, and one you've seen in the videos, obviously Flat Eddie. That I always put him in every video. So yeah, Cocker Spaniels, and yeah, they're lovely dogs.
For sure. I've never had one, but I do love the breed. They're such soft coated, like you could just pet them all day long.
Yeah, they're lively. They need a lot of attention. They need a lot of walks. They need a lot of yeah. They're harder than children.
That's
Do you
true.
speak really good Spanish, by the way?
No hablo español. Estoy aprendiendo español, pero ahora no es suficiente.
Oh, terrible.
Terrible. I didn't understand a word.
I said,
Exactly.
no, I don't speak Spanish. I said, I'm learning Spanish, but now it's not sufficient. But I'm learning. I've only been here for you.
Sorry, Alex. I was just thinking, why don't you talk with Oliver Ludlow? Is it? He's in Spain, isn't he?
Have you heard of Oliver Ludlow? He's a half English, half Spanish guy, but his channel is very big in Spain, and he's the first person. He's only in his late 20s, but he's the first person to put Flat Earth into Spanish.
Oh wow!
As a book.
Oh, as a book. He's done a book.
Yeah, but like when you you go to his channel, and even if I could understand a few Spanish words, Spanish people talk so fast.
It's ridiculous. I mean, we
you know that, don't you? I'm not making that up.
No, you're completely correct. We had lessons for the first year, and when I've got a basic understanding, but you know, when you just have basic lessons, and then you turn the radio on and you hear the guys going, Elton John. It's just what the hell is going on there?
I got Elton John. Yeah.
No, you're right. They speak so fast.
I never understand what Oliver was saying, even if I knew some Spanish words.
So do you know where this guy is in Spain exactly?
Oh, I do know. I don't think he's very far away from you, actually.
Okay. That'd be interesting because, you know, one thing I do lack is flat earthers in Spain. I've got one buddy that I speak to about this stuff, but nobody else, you know, I don't have a massive circle of flat earther friends. So
you're part of our family now.
Hey, thank you.
I have to ask, how are you in Spain? Because you're obviously from the UK. How did this happen, being an expat in Spain?
Well, basically, I got fed up with the weather in the UK. We came to Spain on holiday. We loved it here. I looked at the wife and I said, I could really live here, couldn't you? She said, yeah. I said, well, let's do it. We're very lucky because we have an online business. So we essentially just need a laptop to run our business and a little studio maybe as well to make the music. So it was quite an easy decision just to up sticks and move somewhere which has nicer weather and less chemtrails.
That is amazing.
That. We haven't had any chemtrails the last few days. Thank goodness.
Yeah, they must be giving us a break for a while.
And at the moment, Alex, no, we're just as hot as you. No, for a change.
Yeah, say that in September.
Yeah, okay. Well, it depends in England, doesn't it? You either have this long time or it just suddenly get to September. That's it. You go into autumn immediately.
We're really lucky here. And one of the reasons that my first 3 songs, the first 3 videos, I'm in a vest and shorts. And people think that, you know, I put that costume on. It's not because I'm always in vest and shorts, because it's so damn hot here all the time. So I just put a hat on and some glasses and I became that flat earth man that everyone loves and knows now. But the vest and the shorts is because it's so damn hot here all year round.
That is amazing. What inspired you to do the first one? How did you like decide? I know I'm gonna do like songs to prove that you know, they're lying and all of these things. Like, what was the inspiration?
Well, the first song I was just writing a poem, and the poem was Flat Earth Man. It was just about meeting a guy who thinks the Earth is flat, and I say, "Oh, you're crazy," blah blah blah. It's not a true story. It's just a story of a guy meeting a flat earther, and then he goes home and researches it himself and finds out that the guy he met was not so crazy after all, and he wants to meet him again and you know and talk the night away about flat Earth, and that's what the song was. It was just a poem. And then I thought, let's try and turn it into a song. And let me just grab my guitar here. Hold on. So I grabbed the guitar and I started, you know, trying to sing the lyrics. You know, because it was. I met a man the other day who thought the Earth was flat. I said, "Man, you must be crazy. Where the hell's your tinfoil hat?" So I started to. I met a man the other day who thought the Earth was flat. I said, "Man, you must be crazy," and that just didn't work really. But when I started to speak it in an American accent. Because it's telling a story, I really like the fact that it is spoken word rather than singing. Singing just didn't cut. It just didn't sound right. So as soon as I started going, well, I met a man the other day who thought the Earth was flat. I said, "Man, you must be crazy. Where the hell's your tinfoil hat?" But I spoke with such conviction, and he believed the words he spoke. And something deep inside me knew this couldn't be a joke. And then when I started doing that, and this American voice, it just, that works. So I put the guitar down and I put some drums with it, and I found some samples of some violins and fiddles, and I started putting it together. I thought, oh man, this is actually sounds all right. And I played it to my buddy, and he went, "Oh, that's awesome, man! You should make a video." I thought, oh, okay, I'll make a video. And the first video you'll see, it's just me, different shots in the studio, me lying on my back and things, and trying to be creative. And I put it out there, not expecting anyone to sort of, pardon the pun, gravitate towards it. But my buddy texted me one morning. He said, "Oh, all the prominent flat earthers have commented on your channel. They love it." So I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Then that kind of inspired me to do more. And the more I was learning about no photographs of Earth, gravity being a hoax, blah blah blah, that all went into song as well. And that's when I bought the green screen, and or I got rid of the green screen in the end because it took up too much room, and I just painted the wall in the studio green, and that suffices. So yeah, that was the first song idea. It was just a poem turned into a song, released it on the internet, people liked it, and now I've nearly got an album.
That's crazy. So you never had any green screen experience prior to this?
No, none at all.
Oh,
I mean,
you've done such a great job. That blows my
You look
mind.
great when you hang off the satellite.
thanks. I have to contort myself into so many different positions to get those effects. I mean, you notice the one where I'm hanging onto the satellite, my hair is really standing up. That's because the actual original footage, I'm upside down on a box and my hair's falling to the ground. So I just flip the video image, and it looks like my hair's blowing in the wind. So I've had to, bend over backwards, literally bend over backwards to make some of these scenes work. I just
want to say, creativity, you're not lacking that, that's for sure, because I mean, there's just so much going on everywhere,
Yeah.
And I think also another thing that, if I may, your songs, it gives people a good visual idea of what they're being lied about, and that's what I love, really, and it's great that you've got a big audience, obviously. You'll get more fans and more people tuning into you, for sure.
That yesterday on a private hangout, he's got how do you put it, the most uncomplicated way of explaining it to people to get them interested in flat Earth, because it's not a heavy version of it, it's a light version of it.
I think also you have to have a bit of fun with it. As I said yesterday in our private hangout, this stuff can be quite depressing when you finally wake up and realize, everything's a lie. And that can be quite disturbing in a way. So what I'm trying to do is just to bring a bit of fun and humor to it, make it a bit comedic, make it funny. And you got to laugh at this, really, at some point, and almost poke fun at the people that are doing this to us, calling NASA, look at me, Ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not. You're lying to the human race. And just poking fun at these guys, and pointing out their bloody harnesses and all that, and just, trying to have a bit of fun with it, because I think that's what this, if you want to call it a movement or whatever, or this community needs.
Have you ever thought about doing a song of the actual experience of the astronaut, because we always wonder, me and Karen and the group, do they believe they're up there, or are they under some kind of mind control, or do they sit them and say, listen, you have to participate in this massive lie to perpetuate the space station and space because of this reason, and we're always wondering what that reason might be. Have you ever thought about doing a song like that, showing the astronaut, getting hired and, thinking he's going to really go into space, and then find out that he has to do it in a studio because he's saving mankind from something?
Idea. I haven't thought of that song idea, but that's a really good idea for a song, because you could tell a story with that. The guy who was a kid and he always, looked at Armstrong and as his idols, and then he went into the military and he studied as hard as he could be, and he just wanted to be the best, and then when he finally gets there he realizes he's got to put on a harness.
Exactly. Oh, I'd love it if you were to come up with a song like that. Oh, I'd be so excited, because we think about this, we talk about this all the time, what do they tell these people for them to betray us so terribly? They must believe that there's some real legitimate reason to do this, and only
it's not difficult to find. It's not difficult to find psychopaths, is it? I mean, 1 in every 1,000, maybe. I don't know. I can just tell. You can tell by looking at them that they're deceivers. I know that it's just
yes, there's something wrong with all of them.
In my song, I can spot a lie from 100 miles. I can spot a fraud from the way they smile. And I mean that. You can see a deceptive look on their face. You can tell they're, they must have this kind of psychopathic trait. I don't know, but
you're bang on with that. I mean, there's something in all of their eyes that is so demented and creepy looking, and really off from the Japanese to the Russians to the Americans. Sorry, UK, same with them. Tim Peake, all of them. There's definitely something wrong with them.
Yeah.
They're not normal, and you just study their eyes, and it tells a lot. It's so creepy to me. But yeah, if you could come up with a song like that, that would be so amazing. Oh my
Noted.
goodness.
I shall write that down.
Oh gosh, that'd be so exciting. I would have to use it in one of my videos though. I'd have to have some clips of that because
Yeah.
I'm all about these astronauts, and I've been researching a lot about their personal lives and trying to find out more about them.
Astronauts, because they're not astronauts.
Exactly. They're not.
I've got the title for the song already. It's called "I Always Wanted to Be an Astronaut."
Awesome. Oh my goodness.
I always wanted to be an astronaut. It's a cool job, man. Well, at least I thought it was.
That's exactly. Oh my God, you are so talented. I love how you switch from your UK accent to the American accent so easily. That's just
there's
crazy.
actually two of us in here. There's two of us in here, so it's easy.
How do you do that? How did you learn the American accent so well? Like, is it that easy to do it from your own way of speaking?
Yeah, for me. I mean, I don't know whether I've watched too much American TV. I mean, in my subconscious.
You're not going to like what I say then, because I thought you was Australian to begin with. And I'm sorry.
No worries, mate. No, that's not a problem, mate. Not a problem at all, mate.
It could be any man you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ringtones that I make has helped because the ringtones that I made, I did a bunch of funny voices. I did, an Indian voice, a Scotsman voice, and I'll do this, just a bunch of silly voices. And I guess I'm pretty good with my voice. I guess that's all I can say. But the American thing kind of came easy to me. Must be too much American TV. I don't know.
That's amazing. You know who also can do voices is the Hori Sheet Show guy. You and him, if you could collaborate on something sometime, that would be so cool because he's talented like you are and young. And
if you don't know who Hori is, he likes sitting in his Tesla car. He's managed in an hour to get a Tesla car on screen with his, because he's got OBS and so forth, and this little studio, and he sits in his Tesla car for us.
So cute what he does. Is he in the chat? Is Hori in the chat?
No, he isn't.
What about Weiss? Is David Weiss in the chat?
No, Weiss is also great.
I've asked him to come on, but he won't come on. So.
You know what? Me and him have got a bit of a what do you call it? A feud going at the moment because of what he said last week about him writing all my songs.
Oh yeah, right. That was, I think he said that to me.
Yeah, he did, and you fell for it.
I did. I'm like, what? Really? Wow, you're so talented. I'm so gullible. I'm so gullible. That's what it is.
He blocked me out. He blocked me in the chat as well. He timed me out for 300 seconds while he was saying it, so I couldn't defend myself. But no, seriously, me and him are cool. We just like to tease each other.
Awesome. We love him. We love him.
Yeah, he said he wrote all my him and Curious J wrote all my songs, and I'm trying to go, you don't listen to him, people. That's bullshit. But he timed me out, and oh dear, man, that was crazy.
Just to clarify something, it's not that he doesn't want to come on Songwriting because he doesn't like us. He says he has a bit of a stutter, and it would show. He just doesn't want that.
Well, I actually, you know what it was, because I called him a tranny in the chat, and he didn't like that.
Oh no.
Well, Flat Earth Man's written a poem about David Weiss.
Why do you think he's a tranny van?
Oh, it's
a transit van.
No, not that kind of tranny. No, we're always teasing each other, so it's all done in the best possible taste. But Flat Earth Man is actually.
Well, do you see the way he sees it? That there's buildings and all sorts of things. They're just the remnants, the leftovers of this other civilization, sort of rusting away in the rocks. Do you?
Oh, sorry. What are you talking about now?
Oh, I'm going on about someone else. I'm so sorry. I'm going on about someone else. Oh, I just make a fool of myself on the Hangout. I'm really sorry.
I'm talking about David. Flat Earth Podcast. That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Sorry. I don't know where I was thinking. I was thinking of someone else. No, carry on.
There's so many people involved in this movement now. It's hard to keep everyone track in your head of who said and what did and blah blah. So it's not a hard mistake to make, Karen.
Yeah, I do know who he is. I just got confused there. I'm sorry. I'm all hot and flustered coming back from work.
She was literally like, I was on the phone with her. She was working, and then she was in her car, and then she was at home, and then she was getting ready. It was like one big blur. I don't even know how you did all that, Karen, in half an hour. Wonder Woman. That you are.
We're all
So-
wonderful. Yeah. So, do you talk to any English people in Spain, by the way, about this? Do you like try and tell anybody over there? Do you have a go at, or do you just, now you've got your music and your channel and you've got a web page, is that what you just go through that now?
You know what? I tried to. I had a few English friends over here, and I tried to drop little hints and sow a few seeds. And there was one night in particular when me and my buddy, we're both flat earthers, and we was just trying to, I don't want to say educate, but just trying to drop a few seeds and say, you know, don't you think this is strange? Don't you think that's crazy? Blah, blah, blah. And they were so offended by the things that we were saying. I mean, the cognitive dissonance was just, oh my God. And I said this before, if cognitive dissonance was an Olympic sport, these guys would have been gold medalists. They were just so offended by any of our ideas. And that was a terrible night. It turned into an argument in the end. And that night was the night that inspired me to write the song "I Don't Want to Talk About NASA." You know, because every time I talk about NASA, I lose another one of my friends.
Yeah,
and that's what happens.
It's quite ironic, isn't it? Because you might say something even to like a friend, and they look at you as if you've said the worst thing that you could ever possibly say to anyone.
Like Karen says, they killed your mother.
You killed their mother or something.
Makes me laugh when she says that.
I'm going to call the police. She's a flat earther.
Yeah.
It's always like that, isn't it?
Have you ever thought to go out in public and do street performing and sing your songs?
No. And the reason why, I mean, I've done 20, 30 years of gigging in bars and clubs and all that. And I did that. And, I've done my apprenticeship as far as that's concerned. And to go out and do gigging and that again, I'm not sure I want to do that really. That kind of activism. I think I'm more of a private person these days. And I just like being in my studio, being surrounded by my instruments and doing my kind of activism online, really.
But it'd be interesting so you could reach the Spain audience to go out and, a park somewhere, wherever there's a lot of people mulling about and doing this. And because you're so talented that they would stand there and listen to you.
Imagine they're sitting there waiting for him and they start getting into the song and then they suddenly realize what he's saying.
They're listening to the lyrics, but they like it because it's so nice to listen to. You have such a talent and flow and the tone of your voice. Everything is so great that I can't imagine anyone walking by and not wanting to stand there and listen to you. Because you're just so amazing. And then when they do listen to the lyrics, they walk away thinking, what did I just listen to?
Yeah. Well, my only live performance is going to be at the Flat Earth International Conference. That's going to be the only time I actually get up in front of a bunch of people and perform a couple of my songs. And but that's going to be that's quite a big gig for me. That's 1,000 people sitting there.
That's cool.
And I haven't done that for years and years and years. So that's going to be a real. That's going to be a blast. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, we got such a treat here for you to be singing for us. I'm just blown away. This is the best hangout ever. Karen, this is bar none the best hangout ever.
Well, I know who's going to be first to buy my album by the sounds of it.
Oh, heck yeah. Please do. I will buy your album. Absolutely. Are you going to do another song for us? I love listening to you sing. It makes me so happy.
Okay, I can do that, I think.
I actually like the NASA one, but it's a bit sad because you're saying I don't want to talk about it. But it's a good song, that one.
Well, I can make it a bit more I don't want to talk about nothing. No, ever. Yeah, how about like that sort of style? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Whatever, do it. Go for it.
How does it start? Can you remember?
Ask David Weiss. He wrote it.
Yeah, David wrote all my songs. I got to ask him. I don't want to talk about NASA ever again. Cause every time I talk about NASA, I lose another one of my friends. Oh God, I can't even remember the bloody words now. I just want my friends to know all of NASA's lies. I hope one day my friends wake up and they realize, no, I don't want to talk about NASA ever again. Cause every time I talk about NASA, I lose another one of my friends. Yeah, every time I open my stupid mouth, something about NASA comes flying out. No, I don't want to talk about NASA again. Well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can tell people about NASA, but you can't make them think. Well, they look at me and they roll their eyes and they shake their head, 'cause they believe the papers and the TV instead. No, I don't want to talk about NASA, no, ever again. 'Cause every time I talk about NASA, I'll lose another one of my friends. Yeah, every time I open my stupid mouth, something about NASA comes flying out. No, I ain't gonna talk about NASA again. See, I just want my friends to know all of NASA's lies. I hope one day my friends wake up and they realize. But I feel like I'm banging my head on a wall every single time. If I just got me a bunch of new friends, then I'll be doing fine. No, I don't want to talk about NASA, no, ever again. 'Cause every time I talk about NASA, I'll lose another one of my friends. Yeah, every time I open my stupid mouth, something about NASA comes flying out. No, I ain't gonna talk about NASA again. So I went down to the local bar to get me a bunch of new friends. Well, I had myself just a couple of beers and started talking about NASA again. Well, things got kind of ugly, and I was punched to the floor. No, I ain't gonna talk about NASA no more. No, I ain't gonna talk about NASA, no, never again. 'Cause every time I talk about NASA, I lose another one of my friends. Yeah, every time I open my stupid mouth, something about NASA comes flying out. No, I ain't gonna talk about NASA ever again. That's the short version.
That was amazing. Woo! That was so great. I loved
Brilliant.
it. Oh my goodness.
This is great.
Who was tapping their toe and bouncing around listening to that? I was.
I know it already now.
I love it. I love the way you say Nasser. I love that. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Going
Yeah.
to a bar to meet new friends is so epic.
Can I
That's
say
the best
something?
one.
Go on, Vinny.
I just got a message from Russian Vitz, and unfortunately he cannot come over, but he wants to say hi to everyone. And yeah, that's basically it. He wants to say hello to everyone, and he appreciates everyone, and he's listening in the background. So
Nice. Hi, Russian.
Hello,
Vids. We
Russian
love you.
Vids. We love
We
you.
love VR.
RV.
Love them.
We
Oh,
love
Vic.
Did I
RV.
just say VR?
You certainly did.
It's code for Russian
Hey,
She's
Felix
satanic.
is
She's
joined
saying
us.
everything backwards. She must be satanic, man.
Exactly. Oops, sorry.
Felix has joined us. Hi, Felix.
Hello, everyone. How are you today?
hello, Felix.
Hello. Great music, conspiracy music guru. I just love your stuff. It's so cool to meet you.
Hey, thank you,
Hi,
Felix.
Felix.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi, Felix. So, yeah, I added Felix. You put in there, oh, I love this guy.
I do.
See, you're known.
Yeah,
Apparently
what's not
so,
to
yeah.
what's not to love about this music? I mean, it's just so friendly, isn't it? And it's we know what the subject matter is, and that's what's good about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's nice, like we say, to have the slightly lighter side of it and having fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's really important. You know, you gotta have fun in these dark times, and hopefully, I'm adding a bit of lightness in the darkness. I think.
You are. Are you really planning on cutting an album though? because
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah. I've just finished 2 more audio songs. I'm working on the videos for them, so I've got 9 songs in total. It totals about almost an hour of flat earth music, basically.
Oh,
And
my word.
I'm just mixing and mastering it now, and yeah, I've got quite a lot more work to do with the videos, but the audio is done, and I'm so happy with it. I mean, I'm so proud of. I mean, it's been a year in the making, you know, almost full time. It's been a hell of a lot of work gone into it, and it's something I can look upon and just be so happy that I did that. You know, I'm going to be, you know, I'm just over the moon with what I've done. You know, I know that sounds a little bit arrogant, but I'm just so
No, it
pleased with
doesn't. You should be so
There's
proud.
another-
I definitely be buying it.
There's another song title for you. Over the Moon.
Do you have a name? Do you have a name for the album?
I think it's just going to be called Flat Earth Man by Conspiracy Music Guru.
Well, that says it all.
Yeah, I think it does.
I can't wait to buy it. I can't wait to buy it. It's going to be available on YouTube or on YouTube, iTunes.
Yeah.
I'm really dyslexic today.
Yeah, it's going to be available on iTunes. I won't be releasing it until another few months yet. In line with the conference, I thought it would be a really good idea. Well, actually, this was Robbie's idea, Robbie Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
He suggested that I should delay the release of the album to coincide with the conference, and I think that's a bloody good idea, actually, because it's going to give it more exposure, particularly as I'm going to be on stage doing a couple of songs as well and releasing it in time with that as well.
Well, everyone will buy it at the conference. You know, every single person sitting in a chair will buy it, and all the people that follow you, you'll do well on that. I can't wait. I can't wait to buy it. I'm so excited about that.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm just happy that I put it together and the way it's come out. You know, I never thought I've never put together an album before. I did an album of instrumental stuff, which I was never really happy with. Every time I listen to it, I just think, oh, that's not good. But this, I listen to the tracks and I'm happy with every single one. So I'm, you know, I never thought I'd be that pleased with my own work. It's just, you know, people are resonating with it, and I can only be happy with that.
So what category under iTunes would it follow? Do they have a flat earth category for the genre now?
No, they don't. It would either be, I think it'd have to be under the country genre. I think country or comedy, maybe. I don't know. Or they don't have a conspiracy genre yet.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Both country and comedy, both. That's great. I'm kind of a musicophile. I collect a lot of the CDs and DVDs. If my favorite bands released a concert on them. Will you be making any that we can have and hold other than iTunes, or?
Yes, I will be releasing a physical version. Yeah, probably.
Oh, wow.
Through Amazon as well, because I think that's the only platform that I can release a physical version through. But yeah, people will be able to have a CD that they can put in their car if they so wish to purchase that. Yeah.
That is so cool. Oh, I'll be the first to buy that one too. Oh my goodness.
You also need it to have the videos as well.
Need to have a what? Sorry, Karen?
Your videos are just as good to go with. The songs are good and the videos are good.
Yeah, I mean, people can listen to the whole album on YouTube. They can watch the videos on YouTube. You know, I've finally got monetization now. It took me months and months and months because they wouldn't allow it for whatever reason. But I finally got monetization. So, you know, I don't make a great deal of money, but people can watch it on there for free. So if people want to support, if people want to buy the album, fantastic, great.
Well, definitely people should buy the album just because you so deserve to be paid for all of this hard work for a year of doing this. You know, I think that every flat earther would appreciate that, especially people that make content and all the hours that are spent putting into it. Definitely you deserve to have, a little bit of revenue for that. So
thank you. That would be nice. I mean, that was never my intention setting out.
Absolutely. It isn't for anyone that starts out in this when they start making content. And then if you can get monetized, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, absolutely. You know, just puts more money into being able to do more of what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
It's so cool.
You're going to have to keep on writing songs, new ones.
Well, I mean, once you're awake to this stuff,
there's
so many lies. There's so many lies and so many conspiracies. You're never going to
run out of material ideas.
Exactly.
Obviously, the no satellites in space resonated with you, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's like, I think every song on my album is one of the things like, well, holy crap, that's amazing. No photographs of Earth. Holy crap, that's amazing. What, gravity's a lie. Holy crap, that's amazing. All those things that resonate with me, and when I go, holy crap, of course, there's no satellite. Well, there are, but they're hanging on. But there's all kind of different, aerial vehicles that do all the imaging and that. But there's certainly no orbiting satellites. Like I say in the song, there ain't no orbiting satellites. I was very clear to say orbiting satellites, because there's this stuff up there, but they're just not orbiting the globe. And yeah, and I was like, wow, it's just, it resonated with me. And so I put it into music. Every song that I put out will be something that resonates with me, without a doubt.
Were you a conspiracy guy before you became a flat earther?
Yeah, I mean, my story is very similar to everybody else's. Started with 9/11. Started learning about, the powers that be, the elite that control this world, and started typing in Illuminati this, Illuminati that, and clicking on every video that had New World Order or Illuminati in the title, and just started learning more and more and more. And then I think eventually, when you get far enough down the rabbit hole, you get to flat Earth, and who knows how much further down the rabbit hole there is to go. But at the moment, we're at flat Earth.
Yeah, really, what a thought. How much further? What else is there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes.
There's so
That
much
sounds
involved in
scary.
that when you find out that nearly everything is a lie.
Yeah.
It is
You
a
must
bit
have
of
been
a mind, you know what?
Yeah.
You must have been a big Russian vids watcher then, because he's someone that I've followed, and sadly, freaking YouTube and his channel, but his content is so spot on, especially when he watches videos, mainstream videos, and he breaks down what actually is going on in these videos with the imagery and the all of the subliminal messages that, people don't realize, and they're letting their kids watch this stuff. It's like really sad.
Oh, completely. I've always been a fan of RV, and he's old school. I mean, the research that he goes into and the numerology that he goes into is just fascinating. I remember really being sort of blown away where he was taking all the registration plates of all the police cars, and they were English police cars. And he see, this adds up to 33, that adds up to 33, that adds up. And I was like, holy crap, this guy's got eyes, man. This guy can see. So yeah, I've been a massive fan of his for a long time now. Since he's been a big part of my journey, certainly.
Yeah, and he's also a very lovely man.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, we
had a great conversation yesterday.
Yeah, that was because Russian Viz asked us onto a hangout, and then he had a little bit of technical problems. So yesterday afternoon, Vinny and me just went over there just because we were there, and Vinny was the one that did it, not me. Showed him what to do or helped him, and then we ended up. You met him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I got to speak to him. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and what was it? He was on for about 4 hours. That was pretty short.
Well, he
Short
said,
hangout.
guys, only 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and it took us 3.5 hours, 4 hours. Awesome.
But
He has so much to say. You could have a hangout for 12 hours and he wouldn't be near done. Like, he has so much to say.
He appreciates us as friends as well, so that's just amazing.
Isn't it amazing how time flies when we get into these awesome conversations?
Well, it is. It's just, there's so much content. There's just so many avenues and content. Like I said, you could go for 12 hours and not even reach it.
Felix sits a lot on Pancho Pete's, don't you? And you have to wake him up.
I did fall asleep a couple nights ago. I don't know what. I'm pretty good at going and hitting the red phone to get off, but sometimes
I did that on a private one. First of all, they said
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah, I was like, but the second time I fell asleep, and it was a bit like everybody'd gone, and he said I didn't snore, so that was really good.
just once.
We were all lying because I recorded you snoring. Oh.
It was soft. It was just a very girly snore. It was very girly.
Oh, great.
We love you, Karen.
Yes, I can already hear conspiracy dude. What? Did I just say that? I can already hear him thinking, hey, that's a new song.
All right, man.
It is a challenge. to write songs. I know, as you know, somebody who writes music, I write mostly instrumentals, you know, like you were saying, and sometimes I'm disappointed, sometimes I like them because I just keep adding layers till it's pretty much complete. But as far as, I just really admire your ability to come up with lyrics to go along with things, because that's something that I'm not so good at, you know, and I admire people who can come up with, you know, lyrics that, you know, just the wit. And
His is almost like poetry, isn't it, in music?
yeah.
Thank you. It's one of the things that I find hardest is actually writing the lyrics and trying to get them to bounce in the right way, to sort of to sound good phonetically and to rhyme and to get all the bullet points of all the information that I want to get across. I really, you know, it could take me a few days to write a song, and I'm pulling the lyrics about here and there. So it is quite a challenge. It's one of the things I do find quite difficult. But once I've got the lyrics there, then I get into the studio, and that's the real enjoying. This the best part for me to you know, start writing it on the guitar or the piano, and then it all sort of comes together as one
responsibility now, haven't you, for Flat Earth to make our music?
Yeah. Yeah, what's the phrase? I think I've made a rod for my own back. Is that something like?
You have like a little, like a 4-track recorder or anything, like when a song hits you or mood hits you for a melody and maybe some words besides scribbling them on, you know, notebooks or whatnot. Do you have like something that you just kind of mess around with and just get raw tracks out of?
Well, all I do now, I've always got a guitar close by, whether I'm in the studio, whether I'm in my house. My studio is slightly separate from my house. So if I'm just sitting on the TV and I've got something said on the TV or something said on a video, and I think that's a real good lyric, I'll just pick up the guitar and I'll start strumming away, really. And if I've got something that I like that I don't want to forget, I'll just record it on my phone. Simple as that. And when I get in the studio, I'll just refresh my memory by playing it back, just a little audio clip, and that could develop into a song that way. But yeah, I don't really have a 4-track recorder or anything like that. But in the studio, I've obviously got some recording software that I can put multiple instruments and multiple harmonies and all sorts of different sound effects and everything I can put in. But it usually just starts out on an acoustic guitar, and you know, and just an idea. You know, don't believe in gravity. I really wanted to put that as a chorus. Don't believe in gravity. Oh, it's just that was a kind of thing that came to me. I just wanted to sing that. I wanted to tell people, don't believe in gravity. Don't believe in fantasy. I just wanted to, and that's how that song started. So I picked up the guitar and I just started, don't believe in gravity. Don't believe in fantasy. Don't believe, 'cause a theory's all it is. It's never been proven, but they teach it to the kids. And that's all that was. It was just, I wanted to get that point across, don't believe in gravity. And that the chorus is usually the first thing I write, because I want that to be the catchiest part of the song. You know, the hook that gets people in, the memorable part of the song that gets people singing it. It's like, you know, it's like my version of mind control. I want to get that hook into your brain and just keep singing it, and you can't forget it, you know.
Alex, as you have your guitar in your lap, I presume, can you sing another song for us?
Oh, man.
We want more.
Yes, please. Sing.
Oh, okay. I've got a bit.
Freemasons and Russian Vids, 3366.
So what? I missed that. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just kidding. I said Freemasons, 33, Russian Vids, 66.
Sounds like a bingo call.
I found 33 in a tree bark once.
Okay, I'm going to try and do No Photographs of Earth, that song, but I'm not sure if I can remember all the lyrics, because there's so many lyrics to my songs, and to remember them all is quite a task, but I'm trying to commit them all to memory, but we'll see how we go. Okay. A friend of mine once told me to do a search online. Search for photos of Earth, he said, because this will blow your mind. So I opened up the Google and I looked for photos of Earth. A lot of photos came up. He said, click on the first. He said, that's the famous blue marble that everybody's seen. We've seen this photo 1,000 times upon our TV screen. But let me tell you something about that famous shot. It's not a photo at all, man. it was made in Photoshop, cause there ain't no photographs of Earth. Somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, none at all. Why the hell can't no one take a photo of this ball? Well, he was right, because that did blow my mind. Because I thought the blue marble was a photo all this time. Well, don't you think that's strange? He said suspiciously. The fact it ain't a photo seems pretty weird to me. I mean, the most important photo that man could ever take, this huge iconic image, turns out to be a fake? Man, I couldn't quite believe it, man. I was pretty shocked. I needed further proof that this photo's Photoshop. He said, look up Robert Simon. He made that cartoon ball. He's the guy you should research. He works for NASA and all. He openly admits that it's all just artistry. He said, and I quote, it's Photoshop, but it has to be. There ain't no photographs of us. Somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons. They're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, none at all. Why the hell can't no one take a photo of this ball? Yep, every photo of the Earth is artist trickery. All the photos on Google, man, are as fake can be. Download all the photos and put them side by side. Compare all the continents, they're each a different size. Compare all the colors, each globe a different shade. If all of these were photos, man, they should surely look the same. Where's the continuity? There's none. No, none at all. All that NASA gives us is a bunch of cartoon balls, cause there ain't no photographs of us. Somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons. They're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, none at all. Why the hell can't no one take a photo of this ball? Now we're supposed to have this telescope, right, that's flying past the stars, taking beautiful photos of Jupiter and Mars. Well, I've got a small suggestion, NASA. Here's something you should do. Point that thing at planet Earth and take a shot or two, because there surely should be thousands of photos of where we live. But Hubble ain't taken one. That's suspicious, don't you think? We got all these fancy pictures of spinning galaxies, but not one single photo of the Earth for us to see. Cause there ain't no photographs of us. Somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons. They're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, none at all. Why the hell can no one take a photo of this ball? Oh, yeah. There ain't no photographs of Earth, man.
Yeah.
Well done. You got a big crowd behind you there, I can hear.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's not like anybody else to sit on here and start singing, because I can't do it. Brilliant.
Well, you know, I'm really sitting here on the couch and I'm really shaking my head, dancing on the couch. Really, it's awesome.
If I sang, it would be as flat as the Earth.
Oh man, I'm so exhausted now.
That's a lot of lyrics. I actually looked it up while you were singing, because you write the lyrics on the underneath on your YouTube. And you nailed that. You didn't miss anything. That is a lot of lyrics. It's amazing how many lyrics.
It's so difficult to commit it all to memory. I'm trying, because when I get up on stage at the international conference, I don't want to have a lyric sheet in front of me, ideally, because that looks kind of unprofessional. So I'm just playing the songs and listening to my own songs so many times to just try and commit them to memory. So it's, part of my DNA, if you like. So thankfully, I got through that without missing a lyric, but it's pretty easy.
You didn't. You nailed it.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely amazing. Such a great voice. Did you take any formal training to sing like this, or is it just something you had the talent for?
No, I mean, I come from a musical family. My father was an organist in a band in the 70s and 80s, and there was always an organ or a piano in the house. And for many years, I was going out, just playing a few melodies for old people's homes and things, just making a few bucks that way. And I was ever so shy. I would not sing. I just didn't have the confidence to sing. And
You've got
eventually,
an American accent when you sing. What's it like when you actually have an English accent?
I don't really. I mean, people tend to sing in an American accent anyway. I mean, there's a song on my YouTube channel where I've done a Tracy Chapman song, which is Revolution. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. So that's kind of how I sing when I don't use the American accent.
I love that. That was great. You should have kept going. Oh my God, I love that song. Ooh.
Oh my God, you got to go to Holland's Got Talent. I'm just kidding. No, this is awesome.
I was thinking that same thing, and then you could sing your own song.
He goes on the stage, Britain's Got Talent or something, and he starts.
Yeah, and then
comes out.
normal songs, and then the NASA song. There you go. Bam.
They'd probably put it on there. I think they would. They would use you.
Well, here's something. I actually went for an audition, I mean, many years ago for Britain's Got Talent and the X Factor. I mean, that was probably about 10 years ago now. And, well, they didn't ask me back. Let's put it that way. They're lost.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Oh, wow.
For sure they're lost.
Handle the truth.
They can't handle the truth, man.
But you can't give up. A lot of people have gone multiple times to get onto the shows and eventually do. So you really shouldn't let that stop you just doing the one time.
He had
so much talent,
though, didn't he? He had to make flat Earth music.
We got someone in the chat. Billy Zig. He said, she or he says, "I'm sure my neighbors have heard your songs too."
My neighbors like good music. I'll provide it for them.
My music's going global, man.
Yeah, we did this yesterday. Very funny.
It's nothing but maps pasted to a ball.
Can I ask you, Alex, is your album in B flat?
Hey, nice. I see what you did there, man.
That's clever.
Oh.
Earth flat.
Yeah, very funny, Astral. Very good, Astral.
Tee-hee.
Is your family into all this? You did tell us yesterday, but is your family behind you, or do they think you're crazy?
Well, I don't really talk about it, really. I mean, I sort of drop hints and sow seeds a little bit, but all my family, I mean, we just have those superficial conversations. They might, they want to talk about the football, or they want to talk about what restaurant to go to and where's the best place to be. We just don't have those conversations. This is why I like joining hangouts like this, because I could talk to like-minded people, because I'm kind of starved of like-minded people, particularly in my family. So no, we just don't have those conversations, really. If I was to go into it in depth with them, they would probably think I'm crazy. They're not the kind of people to go, oh, that's interesting, I'll research that myself. They're just not those kind of people. It's a shame. I hope that one day they might, look at some stuff, but I don't think so. My family and me are different people. I'm the black sheep of the family.
So they're just eating blue pills all day.
Aren't we all? Yeah.
Blue pill eaters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
you're the red pill. They're the blue pill people. We all have blue pill people in our families, all of us.
Yeah,
yep.
Just the way it
but
is.
We are the chosen one.
For some reason.
There is a little bit of hope. I went for a job today, and the lady I went to, she was talking about things, and she was saying, it's all wrong, nothing works and all that. And then I slipped it in, and she said, oh yeah, I've known it's flat forever, basically. She was a kid when she knew, and she was 85, and I was thinking, yes.
Wow.
She was 85, and she just she just felt that gravity would be like being in space. How they show us on the ISS, wobbling and all that. That's what we'd be living in. And I thought, yes, lady, she's got it.
Brilliant. Well, there is hope then. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I
someone
thought.
who's 85 didn't necessarily have it in their school system while they're growing up as part of the curriculum or the programming. They were too busy.
Well,
learning
my
about
parents'
real
generation,
things.
Felix, they're the most indoctrinated, the ones that got the television.
Right, the ones that got the television who were able to see this stupendous moon landing in 1869 and the grainy pictures. I remember my great-grandfather, he was standing there going, "Oh, this is crap, this is crap, this is a setup." He was really, like, hyped and angry. I just remember, he was a crotchety old man, he would walk and then, like, put his hand up and expect the traffic to stop for him when he would walk on over our house, so he wasn't having any of that, but then again, he was born in the 1800s, so he wasn't having that,
Sounds like he was also a black sheep. I think we're all black sheep in some way. There's something we're picking up that other people aren't, and if they want to call us black sheep or whatever, then I'll be a black sheep any day, man, as long as I know the truth.
Absolutely, man. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, correct.
Hopefully, though, we're not the sheep, are we? We've woken up. I was going to do that.
We're people. If I was a sheep, I tell you what, my dog would be telling me what to do every minute of the day.
He'd be rounding you up.
Yeah, the dog would be in the mirror going, "Oh, I really am God," because he would be seeing his name in reverse.
Oh yeah, I thought about that.
Us dogs ignore mirrors.
So, Alex, back to you. Do you find that Spain is going flat Earth, or they're not taking any notice at all?
I know there's a flat Earth community here. I did hear that Iri Landucci came over to Spain to do some meetup over here. But I'm really not a part of the Spanish community, really. I'm more a part of the expat community that's over here, really, because my Spanish is not up to scratch yet. I'm not really integrating as much as I should. So I'm not really speaking to the Spanish folk as much as I want to. But I hope that one day when my Spanish is a bit more polished, I could start talking to the Spaniards about this. But I mean, it's happening all over the world, isn't it? I mean, there's communities all over the place, and there is a community here. I just haven't integrated with it yet.
What about the expats then? Any of those that have woken up or?
No. I mean, like I said before, I had a couple of most people that moved to this area of Spain. They're kind of retired, and they're of an older generation, and they're probably more. I hate to say this because this is quite it's a nasty thing to say, but they're probably more indoctrinated. They've had more years of the television and more years of the news than us youngsters. But I don't know. It's very difficult to talk. I found it very difficult to talk to people about it over here, the English community, and I've just had nothing but blank stares and the rolling of the eyes when I try to mention it. So I just don't bother anymore. And I just, I've got one buddy here who I could talk to about it. Mike, hey, Mike, if you're going to listen to this, hey, man. And we talk until the sun goes down about it. And it's great. And that's enough for me. That's enough for me. If more English people come into my life and want to talk about Flat Earth, then I would encourage that 100%. But at the moment, no, it's pretty thin.
I find it a phenomenon, as well as probably many other people do, how most of the demographic of the waking people to these lies are basically between 30 and 60. Do you notice that? I think that perhaps our generation is maybe
that's interesting. That's very interesting.
More apt to be a little bit more skeptical of information, how it comes into us. So we're always looking for, an alternative view to the narrative because we could see through the advertising and the narratives, and we start looking for something else. And I think the truth comes to us that way.
And not only that, but I think you have to have a fair amount of time on your hands and turn off the television as well, which some people are just not able to do. If particularly now as the World Cup is on and things like that, and some people just, I don't know. I'm very fortunate. I have time on my hands, and I've, So I have time to look into it. Some people just don't have the time. You know, you've got work, and then some people, when they come home from work, they just want to flop down and just switch the television on. So how can they possibly have time to look into this? You can't look into this for an hour and then get it. It takes months. For me, it took months and months of research before I finally got it, and people just haven't got that sort of time to spare.
Yeah.
Actually, you knew it from the beginning. It just wanted to watch it repeatedly to make sure that, you know, it was the same. And every time you watch another video, yeah, basically the same. On the next one, yeah, it says the same thing. Bit like that, isn't it? But you have to do it. You have to put yourself through months of looking at it and making absolutely sure.
Yeah. People just don't.
And then you just find everything becomes a lie. You start off with flat Earth, and then it covers everything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
And I like the way you construct your music as to it's also a way of the points you bring up in the songs are things that people can do research on.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
what it's
simple.
designed for. It's, you know, I always call my music leading a horse to water. You can't necessarily make the horse drink. And again, it's that line in that song, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can tell people about NASA, but you can't make them think. And hopefully, you know, the amount of time people have said, I use your music as an icebreaker, you know, to get people to start thinking for themselves, to get people to start researching. But initially, though, the people that listen to the music, they have to do the work themselves. But there's a lot of people out there that would just see the music on a superficial level and just see a guy in a pair of shades and a cowboy hat singing a catchy song. They won't get it. Some people will just not get it. But the music is layered like an onion. Depending on your knowledge, you'll realize that every line in the song is pretty much the truth.
Oh, I like it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, man.
As RV would say, Russian Vids would say, every line in a song is a golden Easter egg.
Anyway, they resonate with me.
Good. That's why I continue to do what I do. You know, I can see that people are liking what I'm doing, and it just it spurs me on, it gives me the confidence to do more. So that's why I continue doing it.
And here's the thing, that there's something about American country music where it is comedy in and of itself. Most of it. My husband built a bar in the living room. You know, there's the comedy in and of itself. And it's a good way, like, if I think back to, like, Ray Stevens and The Streak and those funny songs that were written so long ago. He just fell off. I'll keep on with this thought train. That's a good way to reach people through the comedy of the music. I don't know. Use that satire and comedy really does reach people. You know.
Yeah, I never really thought about comedy.
Like George Carlin. Yeah, just George Carlin's comedy or whatnot, even though he didn't do country music. What I'm saying is just even just so being a little bit on the side of the skeptic a bit as to what's going on around you. You know, we can like build on that, whether it's comedy or, you know, the person screaming in the street isn't necessarily, I don't know, maybe there's something to music. It gets us all together.
Hello, what happened there?
Oh, you're back. I was just going to message you. I don't know. You just went. Are you on your mobile or computer?
I'm on my computer. It just said it dropped out because of internet error or something. But I'm back. I don't know. Maybe something just glitched out.
Oh, none of us did. But anyway, I'm glad you're back.
Okay, cool, man. Where was I? I can't remember now. Let's start again.
I think about country music and comedy, like even going back to Ray Stevens and, you know, some of that music he put out in the 1970s, that we can, you know, cap on that a little bit with the comedy, and the skepticism kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah, make it short.
Yeah, who's the artist? Who's the artist you're referring to there? I don't think I've heard of him.
Ray Stevens. Do you remember? Oh yes, they call him the Streak. You remember "Don't Look, Ethel"?
No.
Oh, there was this thing where people would take their clothes off and run naked through like ball stadiums and things like that to get attention, and it was called streaking. So I remember this comedy song that this guy Ray Stevens did, and they called it The Streak. And one of the hook lines in the song was, "Don't look, Ethel." Like he was talking to his wife.
There you go. You see how comedy resonates with people and they remember the choruses, you know, that's the great thing about music. And that's what I'm trying to do, you know, just get them catchy hooks, get them catchy lines that people will go, that line from that song, you know, that's what music can do. It stays with you forever.
Can I just say that Freeman's has joined us? Hi, Freeman's.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Freeman's.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Yeah, just so you know, Felix wasn't there yesterday, or Bling Bling, but you met us all yesterday, didn't you, Alex?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I did. Yeah, that was a great chat. I mean, we was only supposed to be on for 10 minutes, and I ended up late for my dinner date. So I blame you completely for that.
Oh no, sorry.
No, I'm joking.
Could I just say good evening to Freeman's? I've not met you before. Pleasure.
Hello.
Nice hearing you. I'm on again, you know, when I'm around and about.
Yeah, I got on yesterday and joined for a couple of minutes, and Dave's like waving at me. "You didn't get on another hangout, did you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "We got to go to the park. There's a fair at the park. We got to go." I'm like, "Okay." And I hit the phone button. I apologize. But yeah, really enjoyed the fair. So thanks.
Yeah, so how are you today, Freeman's?
I'm well, thank you very much. Had some, I don't know why, I thought it's plus 2 hours, and I programmed myself around 10. So that's why I'm late, but I'm watching you from the beginning.
Cool. Have you enjoyed the music?
Yeah, very, very nice. If you saw, I made some nice comments regarding Alex's music, and I really enjoyed to listen.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
I think what helps about you, Alex, is you're quite light-hearted and bouncy and happy, and it all just adds to it, makes the music like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was always a bit of a joker in school. You know, my report card always said, you know, he doesn't concentrate in class. He's always making jokes. And I think that helps. You know, you've got to have a sense of humor when it comes to this stuff. And if I could put a bit of myself in there and just try and crack a joke, and, you know, there's a few comedic parts in my videos that, you know, even I laugh when I watch them, you know. So I think that, like I said before, so important to make light of this in
considering I know that you were looking at a screen, that bit in the satellite one where you've got 2 arrows and they're going the other way. I forget what the words are, but the words are the opposite of each other, and you're looking at them, and that was really, I like that. That really made me laugh.
Yeah, my buddy says that's his best part of of that song, where I'm looking at uncomfortable truths, or what was it? No, uncomfortable lives, or what is it? Something. Yeah, I know the part you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're obviously not looking at that. We know you're not, but it looks like you are. And yeah, when you did that, it was really funny. I really laughed when I saw that bit.
I'm just looking at a green wall when I'm doing it, but obviously I know that I'm going to put that image behind. So I'm just sort of, you know, and you have to record these parts time and time again, because you put them on the PC. You think, I'm not actually looking properly. I'm looking the wrong way, or, you know, it's out of frame or out of focus or whatever. So much stuff ends up on the cutting room floor, so to speak. So
I think a lot of us who do these hangouts, we just have to talk and just go for it. There is no part two, or let's scratch that bit out and start again. You just got to go for it. Maybe that helps a bit with the music for you, because it's just rolling, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea of what I'm going to put in the video, but and that's the hardest part, actually getting in front of the PC, because I don't really know how it's going to turn out. I don't have a storyboard or anything. I just kind of I start searching for images online. I start searching for video footage that I could use, and it just kind of develops. It just happens, you know. It just kind of, and I thought, that doesn't quite look right. Let's go back and do that. And I just go with the flow, really. And if you've got the passion for it, it just comes out of me, you know, in a way. So yeah, you just have to roll with it. Yeah,
well, that NASA thing is dear to our heart, that we love it to close down and they go to prison.
Yeah. Well, I hope we're all alive to see that.
Yeah, that would be really great. We actually need somebody like that on our side. They know the truth, don't they, of what we're living in.
I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Now that the Space Force has been initiated.
Yeah, I've been seeing everyone's talking about Space Force.
That's another great idea for a song too.
Yeah,
The
it's not.
the space farce.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's not called Space Force. It's Space Farce.
I've
Yeah.
heard.
To
Totally.
be.
I've heard a lot about this Space Force. Can you just, in a nutshell, for the layman, just explain exactly what it is?
It's another branch of the government. It's going to be another branch of the military. So it's going
Don't they have
to
NASA already?
encompass space. It's going to be like we're going to have space protection in case our enemies
Oh, is this
are,
where
you
we're
know,
arguing in space? That we have wars in space? That stuff.
well, not that it's silly, but yeah, that's the premise, I guess, to
Oh my
protect the.
goodness.
So it's
The-
kind of
the-
like a rehashed Reagan when he was talking about, the Star Wars, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's silly because, well, we all know none of it is real. But
course.
I mean, they're actually
Well,
going
no,
to
it's real.
hire. They're going to hire more people in the military and put them into this space force.
Don't they have
know,
enough NASA employees that we have to pay?
Well, sure. And it's really funny is like Trump just dreamt this up. Like he had mentioned this a month or so ago. It just came, I think, an idea in his head. And then all of a sudden, I guess he must have kept thinking about it. And then all of a sudden he decided to make it a real thing. But it was just something he just thought of, like while he was talking. I'm sure of it if you watch that video. So like, how silly is that? Then he, tells one of his generals to get on it and create this space force.
Isn't,
Yeah,
What a waste of money.
isn't
what
that
do
where
they-
NASA came from? Was the Air Force, and they turned it into NASA? So what? We have NASA, we have the Air Force. Now they want to. I don't know.
But this is going to be military because NASA is not part of the military. Okay, it's a part of the government organization like Homeland Security. It's just part of that. Military is completely different. It's a different pay structure. They pay them even a lot less than even what the people that start out working for the government do. Like you become like a GS 5 in the government, but then when you're in the military, the pay system is completely different, and so it's separate. I just don't see how it's not like they have technology and little, like if you watch Star Wars, like little space vehicles, little fighter jets in space and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't even know what they're going to have these people doing exactly. To me, it's just a whole big waste of money. And I can't really believe it's ever really going to get off the ground. No pun. It's just not going to happen.
Kind of reminds me of what Carol Rosin had said that she had learned from Werner von Braun, was that, there's this certain unrolling of things that, that they're going to put on the population. And she definitely begged to say, no weapons in space, no weapons in space. How could you be putting weapons in space? Now, whether she knew, the reality of, our realm or not, when this stuff goes so-called global, these things that, it gets like everybody like into this tizzy, and what about the fake alien invasion? First there was terrorists and this and that, it keeps on like growing into this horrible thing.
Well, it's a good point that you're making. Maybe the Space Force is the ramp up before we have the fake alien invasion that a lot of us flat earthers believe that is going to happen, to usher in the new world order, to be able to bring in the fake Messiah.
What it is, don't you? It's another way to waste money.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a fear. Again, they just make
You have to bring
putting fear upon us, aren't they?
you
That's
really
what
have
they're
to bring
doing.
out the fear mongers to think that there's aliens that are going to attack us.
It's
Well,
like
they would need to have a Space Force. If they're going to do a fake alien invasion, then they need to have a Space Force to be fighting them in space, right?
Right. How else
So-
can you make America great again if America doesn't lead the role into fake aliens fighting?
So I'm pretty sure that's really why they're doing it. I believe firmly we're going to have a fake alien invasion, and people will believe it. All those people, like we were talking about, that are sitting there, and Russian Vids talks about this all the time. That's why they have all these sports and all these different TV shows to just keep the sheep just busy watching all of this stuff while behind the scenes this is all going on, and so they're not aware of it. And it's just only the few of us really that don't take the blue pill, take the red pill, and wake up to it and see what it is, what it's all designed for.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat, Sultan of Symmetry, said they found another black hole to dump more cash into. I like that.
Right on, right on. Well
It's money, isn't it?
There's another song title.
Yeah.
Putting money into a wasted black hole.
Jeez.
yeah, right on.
Who was I listening to? Gosh, who was it? I can't remember, but they said, and it was so stupid. They were, talking about part of the Space Force will be utilizing these, independent people that have been creating their own rockets, like Elon Musk. And then he had the nerve to say, yeah, and the great thing about that is not one penny of taxpayers' money has gone towards this. Yet Elon Musk has gotten billions of dollars from the taxpayers in government subsidies. So how could he have even said that no money has gone into Elon Musk's pocket? That's a blatant lie. Or I can't believe he doesn't know that.
Well, his cars certainly aren't selling very well because they're crap.
Oh, are they?
Oh, and can't space.
Yeah, I'm sure he did that to try to drum up more sales for the Tesla vehicle by putting one into space. That made, good marketing sense for him. I don't know if that helped. I don't follow his car sales. Not in that level of finance to be able to afford Teslas, so I don't watch any of that.
Yeah, you can download the app and get data mined while you're following the stupid car.
Jeez. Is that what's happening?
Sure. That's why people think it's real, because they downloaded the app.
Well, are they still tracking it? Like for a while there, they were showing scientists, pointing a little tiny white dot in all these stars and saying, that's it, that's the Tesla right there.
Right.
I don't know if anyone saw that or not. It looked so ridiculous. But they were convinced that was the car in all these millions of stars.
When I saw the don't panic, I'm like, wow, I think insurance rates are going to go up. Oh, sure enough, we got a raise in our state, 13% insurance rates.
Whoa.
Place next month. Sure, you can't take a chance on your car crashing in space, and then Astral.
Just in case you hit a planet,
13%. Is that just in your state, or is I didn't hear about this? Which state do you live in?
Michigan.
Oh, in Michigan. Jeez. It's like they don't get enough already. Wow, that's nuts.
Right?
Hey, Vinny, did you ask something? You may as well say it. Vinny? You wrote something just in the chat.
Vinny, are you ready for the event?
He just asked, would you sing? Oh, I'm not looking at it now. Hang on. He just wrote, remember Spaceman song? Now we can make it. I always want to be in the Space Force, Jar Jar. Oh, sorry. I thought he was talking about one of your songs there. I just saw song. But yeah, there's some words there for a song for you there, Alex.
Oh, it's never ending. I'm never going to be short of material, am I? As long as they keep doing this nonsense.
That's great for you.
Anyway, it's a good way to invent it, because we can't all do the same thing, can we?
That's for sure. I don't have any musical ability, so I would never be able to do that, what you're doing. Yeah, we all have something that we're bringing to the table, which is fantastic. And it just happened that way.
Sorry, Bling. I'm pretty sure that if one of your horses steps on your toes, you get a good note out of your voice.
Maybe, yeah. Soprano. It actually did happen to me when I was like 12. My pony did break my toe and permanently moved it over because my parents didn't take me to the doctor over it. But yeah, that happened.
My pony stepped on my foot too. The whole foot. It didn't break anything, just a little bruising. But I was like, Bobby, get off. I was pushing him. I was trying to pull at his bit, try to get him to step forward. And
it happens.
Just decided to stand there for 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, God. Oh,
When I was younger, I stupidly gave these horses some polos and I put my fingers out. But instead of taking the polos off my hand, they took my fingers and they bit.
jeez.
Really hurt. They didn't break my fingers, but I remember thinking, oh my God, I thought, you definitely felt that bite.
What were you offering them to eat? What did you call it?
Polos.
What's that?
Mint.
A
The mint with
yeah.
the hole in it. We don't advertise on here, but it's a
Like
kind
a
of mint.
lifesaver? Like a lifesaver?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
My
okay.
daughter, when I think she was about 4 or something, we went for a walk, with my children and the missus back then when I was married. But anyway, and there were some little small Shetland ponies. The first thing my daughter said,
Oh no.
Can we give it some grass? I said, yeah. And she didn't want to. She said, do they bite? I said, no,
No,
they don't.
no.
I said, no, they don't. And I'm used to horses. I held out my hand and I put it on the flat of my hand. It bit my fingers and I screamed. So my daughter was laughing. She thought it was so funny. Really, really funny.
They're miserable
It
little
wasn't.
creatures. Shetland ponies are known to be just miserable. Just stay far away from them. You're better off with the big percherons and big, huge draft horses that are so gentle. But these little small horses, they have I guess because they are so small, they have to compensate with something. So they're usually quite miserable.
Well, we kind of broke for bareback riding. That was good enough. He just liked to pull carts. That was his thing. He literally get excited.
Yeah, they're quite strong for being so small, actually. It's quite amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Even the minis, they can pull carts really well, too. And they're like 32 inches high. That's
They'll stay
crazy.
in one place as long as they have something to eat.
This is true. This is
You
true.
can't let them eat too much. It's like, well, you don't stop.
Who's the... Oh, Freeman? Oh, sorry. Is that someone new that joined the chat? I'm not...
Yeah, Freeman. Do you say Freeman?
Yeah, I'm here, and looks that Vinny have some troubles with microphone. But
Yeah,
I
Vinny
hope
might
that-
have to just leave and come back because his microphone won't work. So he was talking to us, but it won't turn on. So he might have to leave and come back. Alex,
Hello.
I know this might seem a bit cheeky, but have you got any more songs to sing?
Yay.
My God, you're getting your money's worth, huh?
You bet.
It's really nice to hear it. I like it because, we have some very heavy hangouts sometimes. And they go for hours. It's nice to hear something where everybody can tap their hands and almost know the song before it's finished.
Ooh, what can we do? Okay, how about my first song? Okay. Well, I met a man the other day who thought the earth was flat. I said, man, you must be crazy. Where the hell's your tinfoil hat? But he spoke with such conviction, and he believed the words he spoke. And something deep inside me knew this couldn't be a joke. But why would he believe this? Why believe such things? Because everybody knows the earth's a ball and that it spins. Well, you must be pretty crazy if you think the earth is flat. Because we all know that it's a globe, and that's a simple fact. So I said, what about the photographs that NASA takes from space? He gave a knowing smile and told me, man, those things are fake. But what about the videos that I've seen with my 2 eyes? What about them? He replied, have you heard of CGI? Oh, NASA's faking everything that you have ever seen. And as for flying to the moon, well, they ain't never been. Indeed, my friend, they're lying scum. It's there for you to see. Just take some time, look into it, and the truth will set you free. Well, I was kind of skeptical, but I have an open mind. And what he said was interesting, and I've got a little time. So I grabbed myself a coffee, and I started watching vids. Because if NASA's really lying, then they're lying to my kids. And as I watched, I got angry as I learned of the deceit. The global earth deception was right there at my feet. Well, holy smoke, this could be true. What if we're not on a globe? The more I learned, the more I yearned, the more I started to probe. I upturned every rock of information that I could find. I started to unlock the truth, the war upon my mind. I had 1,000 questions I just couldn't understand. I had to meet that man again, that flat earth man. Oh, NASA's faking everything that you have ever seen. And as for flying to the moon, well, they ain't never been. Indeed, my friend, their lying scum is there for you to see. Just take some time, look into it, and the truth will set you free. Well, I called him up that evening, and he agreed to meet. He was very welcoming, and he showed me to my seat. He said, I see you've done some research, my open-minded friend. I know you'll have some questions, which we'll get to in the end. First, take a look at what's on these walls, paintings of a globe. I painted every single one of these, don't you know? See, back in the day before computers, I was in demand. An artist painting everything I saw upon the land. Landscapes were my favorite. I was awfully good at those. Many people told me that they looked just like photos. And then one day I got a call from a real important dude. He asked me if I'd like a job and said the money is good. Well, what's the job? I asked him, then I wait for his reply. You'll be painting globes for NASA. Then he promptly said goodbye. Well, I was sworn to secrecy. I could not tell a soul. But I just got myself a job with NASA painting globes. My work was published globally in every magazine. To fool the people of where we live, a truly evil scheme. See, we don't live on a globe, he said, the earth is truly flat. I've been on the inside and I know that that's a fact. Oh, NASA's faking everything that you've ever seen. And as for flying to the moon, well, they ain't never been. Indeed, my friend, their lying scum is there for you to see. Just take some time, look into it. The truth will set you free. Well, we talked until the sun came up and my mind was truly blown. This man had challenged everything that I thought I'd known. And finally it was clear to me to why these rascals lie. And finally it was clear to me about the reasons why. You see, it's all about control, you know, to get inside your head. It's all about the money, too. They got an awful lot of bread. $50 million, man. What could you do with that? Well, that's what NASA gets a day to hide the earth is flat. You see, if they can get you to believe that you're on a spinning ball, well, things like God and creation just make no sense at all. It all exploded from nothing, right, with their theory of Big Bang. It's true satanic mind control from the Freemasonic gang. You see, it's only Freemasons that get to go to space. They're the evil rascals that are lying to your face. Yeah, NASA's pretty evil, man. The whole thing is such a fraud. The only reason they exist is to hide a loving God. Oh, NASA's faking everything that you have ever seen. And as for flying to the moon, no, they ain't never been. Indeed, my friend, their lying scum is there for you to see. Just take some time, look into it, and the truth will set you free. Yeah, NASA's faking everything, man. Look into it. I did. Now my mind is truly blown. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow! Yay! Woo! That was amazing.
Well done. Brilliant.
Was that inspired by Matthew Powerland? Was that a bit inspired by him saying that he used to paint for NASA?
No, actually, it's not. It's the parallels that it draws with him is purely coincidental. I've had that question before, actually. They've asked me, is that about Matthew Powerland? And no, the song was originally going to be like a Photoshop guy that worked at NASA or something, you know, but I tried, the lyrics just wouldn't work, so I turned him into an artist. So it's purely coincidental, but it does sound like I'm singing about Matthew Powerland, doesn't it?
It does. If it's true, though, that he, I've seen a video where an ex-girlfriend said that he never worked for them. So that's kind of, I don't know. I'm not really convinced, but it doesn't matter if he did or he didn't. We all know that's what they were doing.
It could happen to anybody, though, who's working in industry that, they may say you're making a part for something and you're not making the part for that thing because that thing never took off the ground.
What a waste of money. All those poor people that work for them, they all believe that it's real, right to the people that make all the food and do all the research to put nutritious food together that will never really get eaten. That just is all a big waste. It's just so much waste involved. It's mind-blowing. All those people working and creating, ending up at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, they make tacos on the ISS anyway, don't they?
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh my.
That's sad. I'm sure they eat a little bit of the food, when they make the videos, the propaganda videos, but they're probably getting like takeout sent in, and wherever they are. I think.
Shout out to the chat room, and I can see Dictra's there. So shout out to everybody in the chat room, and thank you for being here and this nice musical evening.
Is there any questions in the chat for a music guru?
Don't ask me to play another song, man.
Yeah, taking requests.
Oh, I see. Dave is giving me his usual abuse.
Can I ask, are there any Globers in the chat? I can't see the chat. I'm on a device.
I think there was one a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, we need to please the Globers, don't we? If they've got any questions or whatever, Oh, sorry, I'm making a noise. I'm trying to tidy up. Sorry.
Well, they must appreciate the great music, though. If they don't, if they're not, going along with Flat Earth, at least appreciate the great tunes that we've got playing today.
This is the first Hangout gig I've ever done.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
You'll be busy now.
I've played a tune on another Hangout, but what have I done now? 3, 4?
You have it. This is a concert.
You've only got 5 left, Alex.
I think I've only got 2 left.
Oh, have you? You're good. It's brilliant, man. Really. I mean, this is just perfect for like an evening like today. Seriously, it's we need things like this. It's
thanks, Astral.
different. You're welcome. It's a different aspect to Flat Earth, and about NASA, and to get people, oh, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I hope that's what the music does. That's what it's designed to do. If people don't get it, that's fine. They can still enjoy the song, can't they? But if people do get it, they can go and research it. And hopefully, my hope is that if I can just wake one person up, man, that's a beautiful thing.
Have you ever had that when you're singing your song and then someone goes, "Oh, right"? Have you ever had it?
I've had a few comments on my channel that said, "Oh, I used to think it was crazy, but your music helped me." And I've had people say, "Oh, I use your music to help wake others up." So I'm sure it's doing that. I hope it's doing that. But I've never really had somebody approach me and had a long conversation and say, "Man, if it wasn't for you, I would have never awoken." I'd love to have that conversation with somebody one day and know for sure that my music has helped to wake somebody up.
Yeah, guru concerts, Flat Earth guru concerts.
Why not?
We're blessed to have you. This is your first Hangout, and it's here on the best channel ever. So how lucky are we, Karen?
I'm going to have to put this to bed. You see, look, there goes David Weiss again saying, look, his real voice, shall I say, is very gayish.
Oh.
Oh, no.
He's still pissed off at me because I called him a name a couple of weeks ago, and then he started claiming the rights to my songs. And I actually wrote him a little poem. I don't know if anybody wants to hear it.
Sure.
I'm sure Dave does.
Well, yeah, I was joking with him. I called him a transsexual in the chat. He didn't like it very much. He put me on a timeout, and we've been
Alex, do the same back, man. Put him in a timeout and then slag him too.
We've been sending abusive messages to each other, but it's all done in the greatest possible taste. And here's a poem that Flat Earth Man wrote about about an hour ago. Here we go. Well, once I met this guy, and his name was David Weiss. At first, I thought that David, was pretty nice. But he came on this show, and started talking out his ass. And I went off that guy pretty fast. He told all the people that I don't write my own songs. Why the hell would he do that, man? I mean, that's just wrong. I was only kidding when I called him a transgender. I just typed it in the chat. I didn't mean to offend her. And now everybody thinks the Flat Earth Man is just a fraud and that David Weiss is just some kind of Flat Earth god. Well, I'm here to tell you people that I write all my own tunes and David didn't write them. He must be some kind of loon. See, I was listening just last week when I heard David say that all my songs were written by himself and Curious J. Well, I'd be surprised if he could even write his own name with all of that estrogen running through his veins. See, I have it on good authority that he wants to be a chick. And I know that one day he's going to remove that tiny dick. Eventually he'll change his name to something real nice. And we'll listen to the Flat Earth Podcast with Curious J and Davina Weiss.
That's so
awesome,
funny.
man.
Oh my God, David is in the chat. Is he?
You need to record that. I'm telling you.
I guess that's what happened.
If he carries on, I'm going to make it into a song.
You tell Porky Pies, David. You told me that you wrote his songs.
He's just said, touche, I concede. I love you, brother. I love you, man.
He's written, I concede.
That's funny. Yeah, he really had me believing it, though. I'm such a dunce.
Well, Dave's always been very nice on our channel.
He's a good guy. He's doing more for Flat Earth than anyone I know.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic. He was one of my first supporters for my channel.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about anything else? Is there anything else that's close to your heart, Alex, like that really annoys you about this whole thing that we've been putting? Or is it basically it's all done in your songs, really?
I think, yeah, like you say, it's all done in the songs. I mean, all I can do as a musician, you have to channel the anger, don't you? I mean, you can get pissed off about it. And initially that was my reaction. I think it was a lot of people's reaction when they first wake up to all the lies. And for me, all I can do is channel it into something, you take a negative and turn it into a positive. That's all I can do. That's all I know how to do. All I've done my whole life is music. So this for me is a gift, not my musical ability. I didn't mean that. I mean, the Flat Earth is a gift to me to inspire me to, take the anger out of it and turn it into something a little bit more comedic. So everything that I've learned really has gone into song form. And I'll continue doing that. If I find out something else that is a lie, I'll probably make a song about that.
Yeah, but as you say, you've got plenty of material because it's all a lie.
Exactly what I thought. Yeah.
So your kids, you said you had small kids. They know the truth?
No,
And
I have
then
two
you-
dogs. I've got two
Oh,
dogs.
right. Never mind.
They know the
That's
truth.
nice.
They're flat earthers. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
So
all
what-
animals are.
Stands on the top of the hill contemplating, running off the hill and getting to some things, but she knows she lives not on a spinning ball. She knows she doesn't live on a spinning ball. All dogs know that. Even
What about
horses.
Yeah,
nieces?
their senses tell them that from the beginning.
What about nieces and nephews, Flat Earth Guru? Do you have any of those that you've told the truth to?
I'll be honest. As I said before, I'm kind of the black sheep of the family. I've kind of distanced myself from my family for so many reasons, which I won't go into now. As I said, I've always been, the different one, that always had a different kind of way of looking at things. And, one of the reasons I've moved to Spain is because all my family's in England, so we don't really talk that much. I don't get on with my dad. I don't get on with my mum. I don't talk to my cousins or anything like that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, that's fine. I'm going to start crying now.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's for the best. It's for the best. But I don't talk to them about it. They're just not ready.
They not come out and visit you then?
I have uncles come out sometimes, and we talk occasionally a little bit. I try and drop seeds, as I said before, but the conversation is soon changed whenever I try to talk to people, and it's an indication to me that they just don't want to hear it. So it always ends up that the conversations is all just goes back to that superficial conversations about, I don't know, the weather, so it's just a shame, really.
told by some of my friends, they can talk about whatever they want, but I can't talk about flat Earth.
That's does this happen to anyone else? Even if we're talking about something superficially like the weather, and you know the truth as to what NASA's really doing with the weather and chemtrails, and you have somebody in your family who's, oh, you can always talk to me, and you say, hey, you know, I have a blinking feeling that this is happening. And what do they say? Oh, no. And you're like, well, did you wake up? How are you feeling? Everybody's complaining, I'm not feeling well. You're saying, well, how's that smart meter working for you? And they just look at you like you're talking bunk or something, you know?
Yeah.
And these are the people that are supposed to be closest to you, and you're trying to make them aware of how to protect themselves from these different aspects of what's going on. They don't want to hear it.
It's a real shame that the parents don't listen to their kids these days. You know, that's the real crying shame.
They didn't listen to us though, did they? In the 60s, we were shut up, sit down, and go over there.
Yeah, I told some kids last summer. We went out to our cottage in Vermont, and there was quite a few kids there. And I was telling them about flat Earth, and you know, they were really like excited, and they really were getting into it. And I felt like I had done something bad, like to tell these kids, you know, about flat Earth without their parents' permission. Like, I hope I didn't, you know, get the kids into any trouble when they went to tell their parents about it, you know.
Well, I had a similar thing with my son, Bling Bling. He and like you said, Alex, kids don't listen. They don't even listen to the parents. I mean, my kids don't listen to me, really. They don't. I'm like, look, you need to look into it and understand what I'm trying to explain to you. You're being lied to, and you're just believing all this junk that you're being fed at school and that you're being taught, you know. It's wrong. Theories is just a theory, you know. There's no fact there. You know,
how old are your kids?
16 and 14 now.
Oh,
I told
yeah,
my son when he was 14. I waited, you know. I didn't want to tell him, and I was afraid to tell him. You know, you understand what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
And I had to word it correctly and in a nice way. That took me a long time just to pluck up the courage to say it. Like, you know, it's a big thing.
Yeah, because it puts you in a different realm then, doesn't it?
Yeah. But definitely ostracized by family and friends. You know, relationships break down and all that kind of stuff. There's not much that you can do. You know, I'm trying to be more myself. I'm trying to be more like spiritual. I'm in nature all the time, you know, and it's like I flipped 180. Seriously.
It's just hard not to say anything. I was house sitting for my friend while she was away, and her daughter was there, and she had her homework sitting out, and it was all on evolution, and it was just all this stuff that she had to complete, and it just made me sick. So I told her everything, and she's a flat earther now. So I just, when you see that kind of stuff, what the kind of crap that they're giving to kids to do at school, and God is completely wiped out, and it's all like scientism, religion, and it's so obvious.
Film studies, I'm surprised that has not put a halt on the evolutionist theory, like stopped it in its tracks. Like, you know, like a car crash.
Sure. Well,
Imagine
atheism
telling
is scientism.
it's all different now. Imagine telling us that.
Say again?
Imagine them telling us that it's all different suddenly. And it's completely different. No, we'd love it, but imagine that then. Imagine what would happen.
When I had
we've been dying now for at least 60 years when we turned us into a fake ball.
They wouldn't believe it. Astronauts could confess to the truth and people would still not believe that. They would still believe they went to the moon, even if they confessed that they didn't.
It's been 60 or 70 years. I agree with that. And I had my granddaughter. I'll use an example. I had my granddaughter here with me for, about 6, 7, almost 7 weeks. She's 3 years old. This is about a year and a half ago. And of course, you know, she's into what I'm into. And, you know, she went outside with some sidewalk chalk and she basically drew a big circle and she put like orange in for ground and she put blue in for water. And then she started like making these. She took the yellow sidewalk chalk. She was drawing like straight lines. Like really, she was aggressive. She just put that chalk down and ring, you pulled the line. I said, "What's that?" She said, "Antennas." But she's 3 years old. So if a 3-year-old can wake up, see what's going on, why can't an adult wake up, see what's going on?
Did anyone see Patricia Steer? She interviewed Nicole Cote last week, was it? And Nicole Cote, she produced a book, a little pamphlet kind of thing that she got off one of her friends, who is, if I remember rightly, a preschool teacher. The first page it says, "This is the moon, I think. This is the moon. No, this is the Earth." And then the next picture was like, "This is the moon," and then it was something about, "This is the Earth where we live," and this is preschool, you know. Anyway, apparently this preschool teacher doesn't really want to show it to the children. You know, she's also been, well, Nicole Cote has been speaking to this friend of hers, and I think, if I'm not wrong now, she's more or less a flat earther, you know. Sorry, I'm always forgetting I'm busy. Yeah, I yield the floor.
Well, we've got to get this out to our children because that's where it all started with education and schooling and things. So in order to change this weird ass paradigm, you know, we've got to get this out to educators who are willing to understand what's going on. You know, you need to wake up teachers, although a lot of them are fear for their jobs of losing their work because they're stepping outside of the curriculum and the program.
I'm just wondering how many flat earth teachers we have, you know, because, well, we changed the paradigm, don't we?
Right.
And that's another reason why Alex can do what he does, because he doesn't have to conform to anyone, because he does his own thing at home.
Yeah.
He doesn't work for anyone else. He works for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's completely true. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about having an online business as well and working for yourself. You don't have to have a boss breathing down your neck. It's, you know, I always hated school as well. I kind of hate authority, really. I hate anybody telling me what to do. I don't know what that is in me. I mean, that's maybe probably why I distanced myself from my family. You know, people telling me what to do and when to do it. I can't stand that. When I'm in the studio and I'm alone with my instruments, I can just do what I want, you know, and that's a beautiful thing.
I think that's why there's so many musicians and talented people that are waking into this, you know, realm of flat earth and truth. We have the how should I say, the will of self-expression. And I like your music too, and I'll say this definitely, it's clean enough that everybody can listen to it. You don't have to bleep words out. You know,
I mean, I've got to admit, when I first started making the songs, there were a couple of swear words in there, because you've got to understand that I grew up, you know, in pubs and clubs, gigging at such an early age. And when you're surrounded by, you know, lots of drunken people, swearing just becomes a part of your life. So when I made the first song, there were a few swear words in there. And people were saying, you know, look, dude, I love your music, but I really want to share it with my kids, but I can't because there's some swear words in it. And so when the album comes out, I've taken all the swear words out. And there was, I've said "God damn" a couple of times in a few of the songs, and that offended a lot of Christian folk as well. And I had no idea that was an offensive phrase or offensive term to Christians. I had no idea until people started giving me the feedback. Look, and they said, "Look, I really love your songs, but could you please stop taking the Lord's name in vain?" So to speak, no matter what if you agree with that or not. But I thought that makes a very good point. So I took all the "God damns" out of it, and I said "shit" a couple of times. I took that out because I want this album to be family friendly. So I've re-recorded those bits again, and I've taken all the swear words out, and I want it to be shared with children. I want it to be shared with everybody. So, you know, the whole thing's a learning curve for me also.
I could dig
That's funny. I mean, that's really great that you did that. But if you listen to the music these days, the kids are listening to, you know, goddams, you know, and shit is like nothing compared to the vulgar language and some of this music. It's shocking to me that they have.
Oh yeah, the sexuality and the things that are in the lyrics. I mean, it makes me cringe. I'm a full-grown adult that's worked in factories. I've heard everything come out of people's mouths. And, you know, the way music's going, it's just so disgusting. I can't even, I don't know, I can't even listen to it. I really can't. And I just find myself finding more music. You know, 1970, golden age of music, you know. It wasn't about things that it's about now. You know, they're talking about, I don't know, butts and shaking butts and things, and just so much dysfunction in the lyrics. It's like, you think people would have had enough of silly love songs, you know? I mean, let's just stop it at silly love songs. No, they got to bring it on to some other level of sickness and dysfunction. So, you know, once that interacts with 2 or 3 generations, you know, what's the next worst thing we could hear, you know, that would appeal to the masses? It's disgusting. So why not have something logical? Why not have logical music?
Well, you'll never have it, because we know who controls the music industry. We know how satanic it is. You know, you've only got to look at the symbolism. You know, you've got to switch on MTV and just see, you know, big-breasted women in bikinis and rappers talking about guns and drugs. It's pretty clear the agenda there for me.
Right. It just destroys our society. So we got something that brings people together, good music that brings people together. You know, sometimes the song makes a great hit, you know. If it's a really happy song, you know.
Alex, did you see what Dictor was writing in the chat room?
I did, yeah. He's referring to a song that I wrote a long time ago before I realized that swearing was really bad. And it's a song that I wrote called F Christmas. And it's a song about how much I hate Christmas. And it's awful. If you don't mind swearing, you can check it out. I'll put a link in the chat. But be warned, it is swearing throughout. So if you're offended by the F word, do not listen to it. But if you like, I will put it in the chat. But it's a song that I made many years ago, before my conspiratorial mindset, before my flat earth away, before everything, before I thought, you know, at the time, swearing to me is a part of the English language, because like I say, I grew up in pubs and clubs and was surrounded by drunken people that swore all the time. It was just normality for me. And when I wrote this song about Christmas, it was very normal for me. Now I cringe when I hear it. But if people want to hear it, well, be warned. Be warned.
Do you still hate Christmas?
Yes, I do, with a passion.
Why do you hate Christmas?
Because it's just, I mean, I get that it's a great time for family. I get that, and I support that. But the whole commercialism of it, Christmas is a really sad time of year for so many people. I mean, there are more suicides at Christmas than any other time of the year. Accident and emergency are busier. There's, you know, more people die at Christmas than any other time. To me, I mean, people will disagree with me, but I think it's a sad time of year for so many people. I just don't like the way that people are forced into buying these products that they don't need. I think it puts people into debt as well. It can be a very miserable time of year for a lot of people.
Well, I have to agree. You know, it does.
And also now you know
do that. All of those things
makes it even worse, doesn't it? I didn't, you know, last year was the first time I never even had a Christmas tree up, and the year before I wasn't very Christmassy either. And I used to love Christmas.
I think it makes me more depressed to not put up a tree than it is to put the tree up. You know, I have done several years of not doing the tree because my kids are grown up, you know, and it just kind of made me feel really like anxious of not doing it. So I make the effort to do that now, and it kind of feels better. But yeah, it's a pagan holiday. It's not really a spiritual holiday. It's definitely not something in the Bible. It's just like you said. It's just to sell products and put people into debt and be servitude to, you know, the interest rates and all those things.
Yeah, shame it wasn't more focused on the family rather than on money, isn't it, really?
Yeah, encourage people to make, you know, homemade gifts to give to each other and, you know, really spend family time together. But no, that doesn't.
Well, yeah, like you said, it turned into a commercial avenue. And, well, let's say perhaps, you know, with our public schools, we have so many different socioeconomic sets in the school. So if a child is a little bit, comes from a family that doesn't have the means, that the neighbor down the street or on the other side of the tracks, that have this certain amount of money. So they have like boundless amounts of presents to, when they go back, the kids go back to school. What'd you get for Christmas? And you only got like maybe 2 or 3 things. I remember my grandmother saying, to me, it was great. I got an orange and a book, and, it's like children expect these things. I don't know. It just becomes like.
Yeah, Christmas presents get bigger and bigger, don't they? I really don't want to ruin everything today. I did sort of tell Alex knew, I think most people on the panel know, I've got to go somewhere else shortly, so we're going to have to wrap up soon. If anybody wants to know, Patricia Steer is interviewing me today at 11 p.m. UK time, so I have to get ready to go and be on her show.
Oh, excellent. I'll be sure to watch that. Excellent.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a change, really, because I'm used to asking questions.
Well, you'll end up interviewing her, I'm sure.
Oh, she's been on. We've had her a couple of times now. Patricia has been on the Hangouts with us on Sun and Moon.
I'm not really that kind of person, though, am I? I mean, I ask Alex questions because, he's pretty new to our channel, but I'm not really that kind of person where, I'm always asking the questions. The panel usually just take over and off it goes.
Well, I'm looking forward to hot potatoes tonight with you on. Highlight of my day.
Yeah.
Karen, is that going to be live?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, cool. It's getting a bit late here, but I'll definitely tune in. I could do with another beer.
Well, Alex, I know this might sound even meaner now, but as it's coming up to end, is there any song that you would like to sing us?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's not even Flat Earth. Something that anything else. Doesn't have to be Flat Earth. We love listening to.
No, I think acoustically, because there's only a few songs that really work acoustically. I think I'm going to have to say no on that one, I'm afraid. No.
I have a request. Can you play That's Entertainment by The Jam?
Oh, my God. Can you, the lyrics? Oh, my God.
I would say go online because I don't even know the full lyrics, really. It's years since I've heard it. But I just thought of that then when you said acoustic. That's like one of my favourite acoustic tunes, It's just so nice.
The spot, Astral.
Sorry, yeah, I know. Otherwise, if you can't do that, can you play Half the World Away? There's another good one.
Let me just try That's Entertainment, okay? Oh, that was the end. That's police car and a screaming siren, pneumatic drill and ripped up concrete, a baby wailing straight up howling, a screecher breaks and landline blinking. Oh, that's entertainment. That's entertainment. Smash of glass in a rumble of boots, electric train in a ripped up phone booth, plates battered walls in a cry of a tomcat, lights going out and a kick in the balls. I say that's entertainment. That's entertainment. La, la, la. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love that song. I went to see the Jam live. Yay!
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. I love that. Awesome.
And at that short notice, awesome.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Listen to you all day.
Yeah.
Just listen to you all day long.
And if Karen had her way, she'd have me playing all day as well.
No.
Hey, that day will come, brother. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I bet. No, I don't mind at all. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks ever so much for having me on. I've really enjoyed it.
The pleasure's all ours, certainly.
can we, obviously we say goodbye to everybody in the chat room when we stop being live, but just say goodbye to each other off air. It's always nicer to do it that way.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you to everyone on the panel. Thank you to everyone in the chat and everyone that's going to watch this at some point in their life. The earth is flat.
Chat room. Mwah. Thank you to Patricia. I know she didn't say very much, but to Freeman's, to Felix, to Bling Bling, to Vinny, and of course Alex, conspiracy music guru, and great songs. Loved it.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Good night from us, everybody. Mwah.
Good night.